Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to our TV show, second edition. This is a show with 3 segments. We're going to be in Staten Island to show you some video from Assembly Member Chafar, and you're going to come back here in the studio. I'm going to introduce you someone here in the studio. He's from Cameroon. I'm not going to tell you his name. If you want to know who's this guy, you got to stay here and watch this TV show. My first is Diallo. He's a former president of GSA, General Secretary of African Advisory Council. Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Welcome.
You for having me.
How are you?
Thank you.
What's going on with GSA? I heard that you have been fired from GSA.
Yeah, I have been fired.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we have passed the baton for to the new generation to take it. Yeah, Asuma, she was here last time. She's the new president. She's doing a great job.
Yeah, she's doing a great job, man.
Yeah.
I think you did a great job. People talking about this.
Thanks.
I'm very impressed.
Thank you.
The job you did.
Thank you.
So tell me, how did you mobilize all these people?
I think I didn't do it myself. It's a group work. I moved here 6-7 years ago. My goal was to go to school, and I didn't have the opportunity or get a chance for people to guide me. So I went through a lot of trouble to get myself to school. So I didn't want people coming after me to go through the same trouble. So that's how the idea come together to put some sort of association or some sort of organization where people coming from Guinea, when they get here, they have someone or an organization to direct them and how to start school.
And you did it. And you are the one who did it.
We did it. I had an idea.
And I think you have a bachelor in finance, right?
Yeah, I did finance and economics in Baruch College.
Okay.
And I did a certificate in leadership foundation from Columbia University.
Good. We have a good news, right? We have a good news. You have been admitted in Schwarzman program.
Yes.
So tell me about it. What is that?
A Schwarzman Scholar program is a fellowship program. It's an American fellowship program that will be taking place in Tsinghua University in China, the best university in China. The fellowship is founded by Steve Schwarzman. He's the founder and CEO of Blackstone. So it's the 21st century fellowship. It's building the leadership of the next 21st century. So I'm glad and I'm honored to be part of this. It's a very competitive program, but I'm honored to be selected.
And you are the first Guinean, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Is it because you are the smartest guy in Guinean community?
Unfortunately, I'm the first Guinean, but that's unfortunate because...
That's what I'm saying. Are you the smartest
guy I'm not the smartest. I'm not the smartest. I think we just need to push a lot of people to apply to these type of programs, and there's many programs of this kind out there. And our job as an organization, you mentioned earlier, GSA, our job is to push people to apply to this. We'll help them with the application process and all of that. That's what GSA is doing in the community.
So what is this really about, going to China? Is it to learn how China do business in Africa?
It's the master program. It's a 1-year master program. It's international. It's a master program in global affairs. You can specialize in business economics. You can specialize in international relations and public policy. But it's to teach you how China view the world, how China do business with Africa, how China do business with the United States, with Europe, how China is the second largest economics power in the world. So we want to learn how China, for the past 50 years, how China has been doing until to become to this powerful nation. And I think we will benefit from knowing how China did it.
Of course,
so we can replicate that to Africa, especially in Guinea, and see how we can replicate those models and customize ourselves and see how we can, get the economic prosperity that we need.
Listen, if it comes to China, you will work with Donald Trump, believe me. But we need you in Africa.
Yes.
This is very important.
Yes.
Because we see that China is taking over Africa. So are you scared that China is taking over Africa?
I mean, that's one of the questions I got from my interview. There was a large panel of interview with the former CIA Director, General Petros, and with the current ambassador, the United States ambassador in Paris was in the panel. That's one of the questions they asked me. Am I scared that China is taking over Africa? I tell them, no, I'm not scared. I think what we need to do is to prepare ourselves, is to our leader to understand how the world works, how economics work, and then to have a business policy that works for our country. Like China have a policy toward Africa, China have a policy toward United States, but in Africa we don't have a policy toward any other country. We have an internal policy, but you cannot see, let's say if you take Guinea, for example, we don't have a policy for China. Say, okay, this is what we want to get out of China. This is our relationship with China. This is what we're going to achieve. This is the policy toward the United States. This is the policy toward Europe. We don't have that. We need to create those policies and have those goals, what the relationship is about.
One of the things you're doing now is you have a movement. You created a movement, right?
So we have a movement, it's called Guinea New Generation Movement. This movement started a year ago when we were when I was running as for Guinean community here in New York as a president. We started this movement, and we have a couple of friends. And the objective of this movement is to empower the Guinean youth through education, social justice, and economics empowerment. And I believe that, as you know, more than 60% of the Guinean population are under 24. And I believe that the youth should be on the table of the negotiation. Because all these decisions that are being taken right now, the consequences, the youth will live those consequences. So it's really important to have the youth on the table when people taking this decision. We want to take this decision for ourselves. We don't want people.
They have the future of the country.
We have to be part of the decision-making process. So the movement is to inspire the youth to take accountability, to inspire youth to seek knowledge, to inspire youth to be independent, not dependent. Regardless if your political affiliation, regardless of your social status, in this movement you can be part of it. But it's an intellectual movement. It's the reflection. We're looking for intellectual people we can think to come up with a solution.
It's not a political movement.
It's a political movement, but
it's not
a political party.
But it's not like a Gilets jaunes going on.
No. It's not a
okay.
riot.
It's
not a riot movement. It's not a riot movement. As I say,
right.
It's an intellectual movement. It's how to think. You know, wherever you go in the corner of Guinea, you heard about politics, you heard about people talking about problems, but we don't see people coming up with the solutions. We want to create a movement where we can come up with our own solution. Instead of talking about the problem, this movement is to come up with the solution, but, focus on the youth, the solution for the youth, how the youth can come up out of this.
There are no politicians behind this movement?
Not at all.
You sure?
Not at all.
We
cannot, you live in the United States here. We came here. We went to school here. We learned with the best people. We cannot be manipulated. That's for sure. We have a vision and we have a goals how to get to this vision, and we are focused, and we will get there.
I mean, you're trying to empower this kid.
Yes.
What do you mean by that? Are you against the fact that these young guys go on the street and strike?
I'm not against anybody. Everybody's free to manifest the way they want. So freedom of speech, right? We have that in Guinea. People are free, and going to the street is a freedom. People choose. My only concern is this, all right? We have to emancipate these youth. If you want to choose to go to the street, I want you to have that independent thinking, that I choose to be this because I have a value. I have belief, I have a vision. That's why I'm going to the street. That's why I'm expressing my freedom of speech. I don't want someone else, a politician or the government, to push you to be in the street. Because if you look at it, right, if you look at the government, there is no youth. Look at the minister. Have you seen any youth there? The political parties, right, and the people who are on the top, there's usually no youth on these people. The youth, in contrary, the youth is victim. Anytime there's something happening, the youth is victim. But the problem is we want to empower these youth to be emancipated, to think for themselves. As I said, more than 60% of the Guinean population are under 24. Imagine if all these under 60% the youth come together. No one else got beat us, right? If we come together, if there's an election, 60% we win. No one can beat us. But my objective is to emancipate these youth so they can think freely.
How could you emancipate this young guy, when they don't have jobs, they don't eat, they don't sleep well?
It's a complex thing, right? But it starts with the family, right? The way our culture, right? The way we raise, it's one person in a family. You can see a family of 20 people. It's one person going out every day and bringing food for everybody. So the mentality is we, the youth, we are conditioned. Someone is always providing for us. So we want to emancipate the youth, that to look at the Senegalese youth, to look at the Rwandese youth, to look at the Kenyan youth, to look at the United States youth. they're taking care of themselves. As soon as 24, these people have to entrepreneurial mind, and not like I'm going to school, when I finish, I didn't get a job, I stay home. You have to do something. You have to be independent. You don't have to depend on your dad, on your mom, on your sister, right? We have to use to empower them. Like, not because you don't have a job you cannot be emancipated. You can be emancipated without having a job.
I really appreciate the job you do. That's why someone was telling me last time that, you see this young guy, Abu Draman, he can lead a country. He can be even president one day. Do you want to do politics in your country? Do you want to be even president?
I believe that if you look at, for example, in Guinea, right? I believe that the youth should deserve better education. We deserve better education system. When we deserve, to have a skill. If you look at the healthcare system, I believe that we deserve better healthcare system. Right now, if you're sick in Guinea, you go to the hospital, the medication they're gonna give it to you, if you go, you buy it, it's not serving you. A lot of people going to Senegal, some people going to Paris and Morocco to get to get a treatment. And I believe we need to improve those things. If you look at agriculture, more than 80% or 90% of our food we buying it from China, from Brazil, from India. I believe we have a fertile, that we can cultivate, and then more than 95% of our, land are not cultivated. And then I believe that the government can do better. I believe that the government can do better in education. I believe that the government could do better in the healthcare system. So because of these values, maybe I talk to people and they share this value with me, and then maybe that's why they have this opinion on me.
Listen. This is the end of the show, but believe me, I want you back here on this TV show again.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you for having me, and yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you again for watching Africa on the Move. Now we're going to Staten Island with our Assembly member, Charles Farrar.
So I state your name. Do solemnly affirm that I will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New York, and I will fully discharge the duties of member of Assembly to the best of my abilities. Congratulations.
Today's a great day for Staten Island, for the North Shore of Staten Island. I'm proud to be here now as a new colleague of Charles Fall, Assemblyman Mike Cusick. I look forward to serving with Charles in the Assembly. I know he will do a great job for Staten Island.
What is the challenge Charles Fall will meet?
There'll be many challenges in the state this year, and I think Charles will be the right person for Staten Island to head up those challenges, to head on, and to be able to face them and to get results.
Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
Well, first of all, we're proud of you. Congratulations. I remember when you and I were talking during the campaign, I told you to leave it all out there, have no regrets. You worked really hard. And I also want to congratulate this district. When you look at the district and the fact that it's shown to be open-minded, to go from someone like Matt Tatone to electing somebody like Charles Falls, is really indicative of where we headed as a city of New York. Charles, you got a big heart. You are compassionate. You're someone who's honest. You're someone who is God-fearing. And because of that, we know that you have all of the recipe, the entire recipe to be a fantastic legislator, not only for this district, but for all of us in the city and the state of New York. That's why I'm here, Ruben Diaz Jr., all the way from the Boogie Down Bronx, to say congratulations. I look forward to working with you.
Boogie Down Bronx.
Boogie Down Bronx.
It's a wonderful day for Staten Island. that we have this brilliant young man going to represent us in the New York State Assembly. And it's a wonderful day for his family and supporters as they celebrate a hard-fought campaign where, in this case, the voters chose very wisely. We have a long history of strong representation in Albany, as was mentioned here, from Betty Connolly, Eric Vitaliano, Matt Titone, who was there before, Lou Tobacco. Now Charles is joining a great group with Mike Cusick and Nicole Maliotakis and Mike Riley and our state senators. So we're looking forward to a great year and a great future for this wonderful, wonderful American success story. Congratulations, Charles. Congratulations to your family. Congratulations, Staten Island.
Hi, I'm Sadia and Charles. On behalf of the Pakistani community and the Muslim Staten Island community, we wish you the best of luck and best of future. One good thing about you and about your campaign, that you ran a clean campaign and you stuck to the issues. And we hope that you will continue to stick to the issues. Good luck.
Oui, c'est un truc vraiment encourageant pour nous. Si on voit un de nos fils qui tire le devant, on pense bien que les autres enfants pourront les rejoindre. Donc j'espère que ça encourage tous les immigrants de donner bonne éducation aux enfants et puis suivre très bien.
Il nous a rendu fiers aujourd'hui. Ce qu'il nous a montré aujourd'hui, vraiment, ça prouve que nos enfants qui sont là, si on arrive à donner l'éducation, à encourager les enfants pour bien éduquer les enfants, ils vont aller au-delà.
I wish him good luck, prosperity, and I hope that, he will make us happy. We that fought for him.
Yes. I hope he does good and be the president. Yeah.
Thank you. He be the president, yeah.
I was part of this campaign team on Staten Island on Park Hill Avenue. Well, I think it's better for us to, when we elect Charles Ford, because he's one of us. I know he's going to make a great difference to the African community.
On est venu pour supporter notre frère, notre fils, notre cousin, Charles Fall. Vraiment, ça fait fierté des Africains, fierté des Guinéens. Merci.
My next guest, Junior, Mekinda Jr., is from Cameroon. He's young and dynamic. He's the force behind a lot of organizations in New York City, from social, politics, to business. Thank you for coming, Junior.
Thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
So you're from Cameroon, right?
Yes, I'm from Cameroon.
So I'm very impressed about your name, Junior Mekinda, and you have Mekinda Jr. What is the difference between the two?
No, it's just a profile matter, Facebook profile matter. I have my personal Facebook page where I do everything. I talk about everything and anything. And I also have my official page, so I don't want people to get confused. So that's why I have it.
So what is the official page?
The official is Mekinda Jr.
Oh, okay. So the other one is for business, you say, right?
No, just personal. I talk about everything, personal stuff, and then,
I mean, just playing around.
Yeah,
just playing around with people.
Because people, someone told me, someone who decided to, to create that page just for me. The person said, okay, I want you to, I think you should have a personal page, like an official page, because
and a business page.
We say a lot of good things, and also, there's a lot of trash happening on your page, so maybe you should kind of divide.
Okay.
And have
I don't want to talk. I don't want to talk about the other one where you have a lot of people, girls, testing you, putting pictures. I don't want to talk about.
I know.
I don't want to talk about this. Okay. I want to talk about the good page, the other one.
Both are good, actually.
Okay. Actually, yes.
But the other one is more official.
Yes, because when I visited your face account, right, and I read a lot of stuff about you, and I said, wow, how can a single person do all of this? What is your answer?
I don't know. I don't know. I ask myself the same question every day. Every night when I go to bed, I ask myself the same question: How am I able to achieve that? And I still feel like I'm not doing enough.
Really?
Yeah, I still feel like I'm not doing enough. I was talking to a friend yesterday, and I I told a friend, you know, if I die today and then I'm in front of God and God asks me, what about everything I gave you, all the all the gift you have? What did you do about that? And I was like, I'm not sure I've done what I'm really able to do yet. I've not achieved what I feel I can really achieve so far. So
It's impressive. I mean, you helping people
Yes.
back home, right?
Yes.
So tell me a little
Right.
bit about your work.
Okay.
And what is the motivation? Why are you doing all this?
First of all, I grew up in a family where I pretty much had everything I needed. But where I grew up, around me, I had people suffering. So since I was a young guy, I learned how to share the little I had. You know, I was fortunate to have a decent life.
Okay.
And then I started sharing with my family, you know. And then growing up, I realized that I did not struggle a lot. So I already had this reflex of helping other people, of sharing the little that I had.
So now tell me a few things you did back home. Tell me about your service.
Okay, the first thing is the most impressive thing that I did was I founded an organization fighting against sickle cell anemia in Cameroon. You know, sickle cell anemia is one of the most deadliest disease in Africa, in the black community. And then it was something that just happened like that. I don't have no one suffering from that disease in my family. And then one day, I have a friend who came and said, oh, I have this organization. I mean, I want to do something with people suffering from sickle cell. Can you go to the hospital with me and help? And then when I went there, I saw people really suffering. I said, what can we do for them? And then someone said, there's not much we can do because it's not a curable disease, you know. And then I said, okay, at least can we prevent it? Can we do something to prevent the disease? And say, yes, if we have a good communication, if people do their screening test before getting married, then yes, we can prevent. And I decided to say, okay, since I have some communication skills, I'm going to put my communication skills to raise awareness on the disease. So we started doing this awareness on sickle cell anemia, how to prevent the disease, and also how to help the patients. And then we went to high school, we started talking about this disease, and it was something amazing, something that never happened before, nowhere else in the world. You will go and see people doing an organization raising awareness in like high schools, in streets. It doesn't happen. Talking about sickle cell, it was something very secret, like taboo. People don't really talk about that. But we need to. And then for me, that was the biggest thing, the most impressive, and the thing that I'm most proud of.
I want you to focus on what you're doing here in the United States, because I know you are very inspiring, and I know there are a lot of people here from your community who dream to be like you. You know, so how do you empower them? How do you help them? You someone who wanna create his business. What advice do you give him?
First of all, we're not all of us, everybody is not an entrepreneur. We all don't have the entrepreneurship spirit. That's the first thing. We can understand that. And then as an African, what I always tell people is that if there's a problem, then there's a solution. And then this solution can become a business opportunity. When I came to this country, 1 month later, during the first month, I faced the issue of culture shock. And then I went into my books and I was looking online. Everything was different. And the first question I asked myself, I took 4 hours of orientation at the U.S. Embassy in Cameroon. But no one told me that you cannot just come to the U.S. and buy a phone. Like in Cameroon, if you want a phone, you just come to the street and then you get from the first store, you get a phone and you buy a SIM card and you put it and that's it. I couldn't imagine that to buy a phone in America, you need to have the right phone, the right company, the right service, the right plan, and that was crazy. So I don't want to mention the rest. And then 1 month after, I realized that so many things were different. I decided to publish a book, to write a book about how...
I don't know about that. You wrote a book.
I published a book, and I wrote my business plan 1 month after arriving in the U.S., and I run my business, and I went to business competition in Iowa where I was in school. I pitched my project, and I won a 5,000 grant competition. Wow. Yes, business plan competition, and that's how I funded my my book. I published my book. Yeah.
Okay.
The book the title of the book is Ready for America.
Okay.
Wow. I thought you saw the book.
Wow.
Yeah, I did.
When I talked to you last time, you didn't tell me about that.
I mean, like, I was like back in 2014 when I published the book, and for me, it's just one of my achievements. The first thing is to let people know that you cannot get stuck on a problem. The first thing is when there's a problem, next to the problem there's an opportunity, and when there's an opportunity, a solution, and beside the solution you have the opportunity. There's a business of always. So there are people looking for. I used to tell people I'm looking for problems, because when you have a problem, then there's a business opportunity not too far from there.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's the mindset you have to have. Yeah.
That's amazing. Okay, so in terms of investment back home, I know a lot of people here want to invest in Cameroon. Yeah. What are the investment opportunities in Cameroon right now?
There's a lot. I mean, Cameroon is now a developing country. There's a lot of opportunities. And then there's a country where if you really want to achieve something, you have to work hard. And there are so many young people doing good in Cameroon. I've been able to follow those people, those young entrepreneurs on Facebook and everything. And most of them, yes, you can invest in tech, in agriculture. Some people send goods back home. Goods like, some people do business like they send cars, they buy stuff here and they send back to Cameroon. In terms of technology, because back home, the technology is not too much developed, yes. So all the little things that we can get here and that we don't have back home, yes, people will be like really willing to buy them.
Tell me something.
In Cameroon right now, there's a lot of road accident. And then if you want to invest in Cameroon, what I'm planning to do, right, is invest in anti-collision system. There are little device that they sell here in this country, $50, $40, but you put it in your car, and when you drive, if you're distracted, it's gonna let you know, it's gonna send a beep, like telling you, hey, there's a car in front of you. If you're sleeping, it's gonna send a beep.
Wow.
And this is something.
If you're driving and you see a beautiful lady passing in front of you, you are distracted, and then you're going to tell you, stop looking that way, right?
No, but if you look at the lady, and then you don't look at the other people who is crossing the street, then the device will send you a beep like, beep, 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 beep. Yes, okay, you have to look at the street.
Wow.
And then you can brake automatically. So right now, I just want to say it's an example because road accident is one of the highest cause of death in Africa and in Cameroon most especially. Yeah. So if you want to do business, this is a space, an area where you can actually invest back home. And then personally, I'm thinking of doing that because I have an organization right now which is doing road safety awareness in Cameroon. From here.
Do you need members in the organization? I want to be part of it. I want to be part of it.
I'm open.
Thank you.
Thank you so much
for coming.
There's a lot.
I mean, you're coming back here on this TV show again.
Definitely. Thank you so much.
So maybe we're going to talk about your book next time.
No problem.
Thank you, Junior, for coming.
Thank you so much.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.